is Bob Nightingale from USA Today. You're listening to Locked Up Sports.
What's up, everybody? I'm Bob Walters. That is Brett Grosso. This is Locked Up Sports Mets rain delay special. It's raining pretty hard out there, Brett. I'm just right by the stadium, like a couple miles from the stadium, maybe 2-3 miles, and it is thunder and lightning and pouring, and then I'll be surprised if they play tonight, to be honest with you.
No, you're wrong. It's. I think it's gonna pass through. I'm hearing something maybe closer to a 8:30, 9 o'clock start, which is late.
It's like the old Monday Night Football starts.
Oh man, that's rough. And you know what's the crowd going to be like for a 9 o'clock?
The 9 o'clock start. It's gonna. Did they open? They definitely opened the gates, right?
Well, yeah.
I don't know this because I wasn't planning on going anyway.
You're asking the question: is the registers? Cohen's registers are ringing at Citi Field. He's selling ponchos. He's got people at the store. Definitely. Definitely.
I actually went into the memorabilia shop, with the grab bag and stuff in the 6th inning, and I was like, you got the pants Alonso wore that hit the home run with. I figured they'd at least have the pair of pants that he hit the home run in.
So they had the memorabilia. I know we talked about it off air the other day, but they had, I'm going through the Mets memorabilia auction the other day, and I go, oh, there's one thing that doesn't have a bid on it, and the minimum's still there, and there's like 5 minutes left in the auction. And I go, what is it? I go, it's Carlos Mendoza's game-used pants for $100.
Like, what are you going to do with them? What are you going to do with them? First of all, how do you know they're Carlos Mendoza's pants? Second of all, what the hell are you going to do with them? You're going to have a pair of pants hanging behind you?
I'm wearing them right now.
Is his cup there? Do
you wash those pants first, or do you let them out with the dirt?
No.
Right?
Well, first of all, no, because you don't wear the pants, Brett. You don't wear them. Nobody's buying Carlos Mendoza's pants and wearing them. The dumbest thing they have in there is the pitching rubber. Did you see that? It's like this thick.
Yeah, the whole thing. People don't realize.
I go, what do you do with this? And he's like. Yeah. Oh, you don't really. He's like, I don't know. Nobody ever bought it, and then it's just filthy. It's filthy. So like, I'm like, maybe if you're rich and you're building a mound for your kid, right? You dig the hole or something, and you put it in your backyard. But like, what are you gonna do with a full catcher's gear of Alvarez?
You go get a regular rubber and you stick it in your backyard.
No, but you can say no, because then it's cool. It's cool for a kid to say, hey, this is the Citi Field rubber. So, that's cool for them.
They're selling everything. They're selling the press pass from, or like the name badge from, Wright's thing from a guy you never heard of.
Oh yeah, no. That's like when I won the game worn jersey. When I got out of the grab bag, I was like, I said to him, I won the game worn jersey. That he kind of picked it out for me because it was like they were bad. It was the end of the year, and he's like, jersey, and I was like, good, I'll take Alonso's. And he's like, no, that's not how it works. I ended up with Chris Drury, which wasn't bad. And you got the good one. You got Quintana right there behind you a couple weeks ago.
Because mine was that way where he was I was kind of joking. I go, oh, it'd be awesome. It was some no-name guy. He goes, oh, I thought you really wanted him. I go, absolutely not. I go, you have Quintana? He goes, sure. He grabs me last year's Quintana jersey.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
All the patches on it from the stretch. Listen. That's a nice jersey. $45. Can't beat it, right? Can't beat that.
I think 45 is a little high for the grab bag because I don't want to end up with look like
45.
I got a piece of dirt up here. I don't want a piece of dirt.
45 is what the Mets could have had Quintana this year for.
Yeah, $45.
Kidding me? We're right on track for that.
Can we sell show worn shirts?
We'll show that one. That one's good.
Look at this one.
We got a lot of people watching today, so let's keep a little bit.
It was
Shea Stadium. That goes perfect with the giveaway they have on Friday. They have the Shea Stadium replica giveaway on Friday, which I don't want you to go because I want to get it, but I think I'm going to get stuck at work.
I want the Shea Stadium replica giveaway. I want that. I don't want any of this stuff because, and you know what? You can buy any of it and go take on the subway stairs for $20 after the game. Like any of those bobbleheads, whatever they are, they're buying them from you or they're selling them for 20, whatever. But the Shea Stadium replica thing on Saturday, I want it. And it's also going to be McLean's first Major League start. So
on
I could probably
Saturday.
sell
Not
Saturday,
on Friday.
right?
No, Friday's the giveaway. Saturday's the McLean.
Okay. So then I'll go and sell these. I've been standing handing out our business cards on the steps of
nice.
City Field after the games.
Before we get to the pregame for tonight, even before we even get to the McLean start, Bob, as a guy who was sitting a few rows back off the dugout last night, I was at home. I watched this game with my mom. She was going crazy. I've never seen her so excited for a Mets game in my life. But please tell me what it was like. You were right there. One of the best videos I've seen.
Yeah, I think I got the video. I think I got the video
right.
of the
for a guy who really didn't care much about this thing.
Still,
you were really into it.
Right. Listen, I've been to some big things, right?
So
We've come in attendance.
I was,
I wasn't crazy. It was nice. It was cool. It was cool to see.
Yeah.
But 20 minutes later, when the thing is 5-5, it's not cool anymore. Clay Holmes is getting booed off the mound. It was nice. Listen, I'm good for Alonso, but like I said last week, it's not 500 home runs. It's not 400 home runs. It's really kind of a little pathetic. And I agree. Mad Dog went off today. Chris Russo on it. I agree with him. It's 253 home runs. It's a lot, but let's be real. It's not 400. It's pretty pathetic that that's all we have. That's the record. If you ask me, that's
the record. The reason the record is like that is not because the Mets didn't have some pretty productive home run hitters. It's all because we didn't have a leadership in our franchise that valued holding on to somebody like Darryl Strawberry. And so it was more of a failure of leadership and a failure of holding on to or getting those players and keeping those players for years. One, growing them. Two, keeping them. And then, realizing what the point is. And are we going to see that again with Alonso? Do you think this is a team that values that now to see him try and go for 500?
I hope not. I hope not. Because then you start keeping players you maybe shouldn't keep. Right? I hope not. Right? I think if they think that they should go, I think if Stearns should run the ship, right? That's his job. Let him do his job. If he thinks that he should go with somebody else or go with the kid down in the minors at first base, then let's do that. I love Pete Alonso and everything like that. But he's not young, right? He's not young.
No, he's not young. He said he wants to play through his 40th year. So his 40th year. So
and he was looking for what, 7 years, 7, 8 years last year? He's going to be looking for another 7 years, 6 or 7 years. And he had a good year. He's had a good year. 30 home. He's going to hit 33, 34 home runs. 100 RBIs.
That's not what we were. If you told me that's what he ended up with, and you said that after, on June 1st, that Pete Alonso was going to end the season with less than 40 home runs, and RBIs are going to be there, and I'll give you that. But that's not good when he had as many as he had. He had like 18 or something like that going into June. So it was kind of crazy.
He wasn't going to get 160 RBIs. Pete Alonso's not getting that. He's a power hitter. He's streaky. That's what power hitters are. They're streaky.
I just would like to see which way it goes. And if they don't offer him that contract, does he say, I'm going to stay? Does he stay and exercise his player options?
Because no. This is his last chance to get a big contract. He's going. I mean, you could say he's not staying for what? Staying for what? Because he loves the Mets? No, nobody does that. He doesn't love them. He's not a Mets fan. Like, it's different for us than it is for them.
If he continues on the path he is now of not hitting very well and not outside of last night, hitting not that only a handful more of home run, like not producing the way he was earlier, and it may not be there. Like it might not be a long-term contract. He may have the option of going somewhere else for like 2-3 years, but he could possibly run that up a little bit more. But honestly, I don't know. I'm all
if
for
he's only
moving
getting
on.
2 years, then maybe he stays. I don't want Cohen. I don't want Cohen to step in. And it's a good business move, probably, and say, listen, I want him in 6 or 7 or 8 years, in 7 years, to be chasing 500 home runs in a Mets uniform. Because when you're at 500 home runs, you're generally not the player you were. When you hit the bulk of those 500 home runs, I don't want that. And like I said, don't get me wrong, I love Pete Alonso and everything like that, and he's a great Met, and I would love to have him his whole career. But let's not sacrifice down the road. These long contracts, are always terrible. Down the road. They just are. And you're going to have 2 or 3 years of just bad Pete Alonso, and it's going to be sad, and and everyone's going to be bitching and moaning, all the people that wanted to sign him because they want to see him hit 500 home runs in a Met, or because he's their favorite player. You're going to be bitching and moaning in 6 years when he can't hit, and he's hitting 6 miles worth of pop-ups every day. I'm telling you.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but if they think they could outplay the contract, then fine. But if not, then they'll let him go.
I agree. And at a certain point, if his production is in the 30 home run a year range, there's a lot more guys getting 30 home runs a year. And the thing is, they usually sacrifice average. And, Pete's, we're all hyped up because we saw for a little while this year, for a very extended period of time, Pete is like a 330 hitter who was hitting home runs every, 6 at bats or whatever it is. But, like you said, you have to be willing, especially when you have talent around you, to go on to that next thing and let guys with those big contracts move on, because there is only so much money for everywhere, and you do have to move that on into, as we've learned, most likely an ace, because that's what we're really going to need to make this stuff all go. And speaking of aces and future of the Mets and where we're going with this whole thing, we've got a big start coming up on Saturday, and it was announced officially. We weren't sure if it was going to be Sproat or McLean or if they were going to do something dumb, but we found out it's going to be Nolan McLean starting Saturday for the Mets in his major league debut. And if all goes well enough, doesn't have to go great, most likely we'll see at least a couple starts from him, right, Bob?
5 innings. He's going to get 5. Yeah, a couple starts, of course.
I'm talking starts. Yeah, but yes, but innings. You think 5? No.
Yeah,
I think that
he's not pitching 7 2-hit innings, man. It's not happening. You think he's going to be Dwight Gooden? He's coming up here like Dwight Gooden, these guys. That's very rare. There's a reason why we celebrate 85 Dwight Gooden, because it doesn't happen all the time.
I think he's
Clay Holmes. He's Clay Holmes.
No. I think he gets into the 6th. I think that I think he has a great outing. I think he goes into the 6th.
Let me ask you this. Better or worse than Steven Matz's debut?
Wow. Now we have a whole bunch of questions of what kind of family does he have? Does he have an old grandfather?
He can't hit, though. He's not going to hit. He's not going to get the chance. So he would have to pitch like 8 scoreless innings to even match Steven Matz's without getting chances at the plate, right? Steven Matz had like 2 doubles. He had 5 RBIs. He won that game.
It's a good family story. He's going to have like his mom's in the crowd and, she's sick, but she made it. And you just remember Matz's grandfather?
Yeah, that was but that wasn't it. That was the side story. That was the side. The main story was he was ripping doubles every time he came up to the plate.
That's what tugged on my heartstrings that day, Bob. I don't know about
like
you.
The grandpa in the luxury box and that, but he was ripping doubles, Brett, every time he came to the plate. Gappers.
That was the best.
And he pitched like six shutout innings.
You know what? That's what we should be getting a response from baseball purists. I mean, that's something that baseball purists would be talking about.
Right? You know what? He's a big Alonso fan. He's probably still on cloud 9 from Alonso, right?
Probably is. Probably good. Could be.
I feel so bad. I feel so bad sitting here. Killing it. I'm not killing Alonso. Don't get me wrong.
No,
I like Alonso.
Was to see it, and we turned into that. But it was honestly, it was awesome to see last night. I was shocked because I was there, and my mom's in town from Florida. It was so crazy because she was so into it, and it was just funny, like, to see what people are into. And it was just someone who, she doesn't even watch baseball that often, but she was like, "This is so awesome to watch." It's one of those back and forth games, and when the Mets go down, and you watch Clay Holmes blow it like he always blows in the 4th. And if you watched our show yesterday, Bob, talk about calling what happens to Clay Holmes in that game. I told you, 4th inning as usual.
That's not hard to. That wasn't a hard call. I mean, he's done that he's been doing. We've seen this coming a mile away. Of course.
Bats.
I can tell you know what? Right. Peterson pitches. It's going to be 6 innings, right? And like that's not a big call. Well, I was so mad last night at Clay Holmes.
Forget about the call. Well, yeah, you're right. Clay
and the
Holmes,
way I look at it too. And listen, I think Montas. Montas is trash, right? He's garbage. Clay Holmes, I think he's a good pitcher. He pitched well for us. He just hit a wall here. He got tired. He's never pitched like this before. I think you haven't heard the last of Clay Holmes. He's going to be crucial in the bullpen as a middle reliever guy, bridge guy.
I'll give you that. And does that mean does Sproat take that next spot, or do they do Blackburn, who they're just called up?
Yeah, Blackburn's in the bullpen tonight. I mean, they're saying bullpen for a little while. I think he eventually lands back in the rotation, but. Because if you're in trouble, you don't want 2 of these kids in your rotation in a pennant race, just getting their feet wet for the first time in the major leagues. This is their dream come true. They're now in there. They're throwing them in the fire in a New York City pennant race with the Phillies.
You'd be throwing them trouble. Days, and you'd be throwing them back-to-back days over and over and over. That's rough.
I don't know. I don't know much about these guys. I know I looked at their numbers. I've seen their highlights, which is clearly good. We're gonna see. We saw them in spring training.
Listen, you know what it is? To this is like like when you make that draft pick in football, or it's preseason, you have all the hope and no games have been played. And Bob, there's no reason not to be optimistic. This kid can come in. Nobody's ever seen him in the major leagues. He's pitched against some pretty good talent. He's been lights out over and over and over and over. He can get you, to your 100.
Bring him up. When they dominate the AAA like he did and like these guys did, time to bring him up. I agree.
I think that the best of the best, when they hit the big stage, they elevate their game. And I know that's no, they don't. They're the same guy and the hitters are better. I am a firm believer that certain guys at certain times just happen to, strike fire.
Baseball purist with an update. 4-0, Phillies losing.
And the Mets have cut it down to 5 because the Phillies lose last night. And these are big games. If the Mets come out of this series, even within, 4 games, 5 games, like that's a win to me. Like where we're
pick
at.
up 2 games. I'd take that. Pick up 2. We still got 40 games. It's not like we're down to 2 weeks here.
No, you're exactly right. 42 or 40, whatever it is, but we're good. Like,
but as far as the kids go, listen, I grew up with now comparing it to football, Giants, right? Every year. I thought Keith Elias was going to be a big special teams player for the Giants every year. He made a couple cuts. It just never. It's you don't know. You don't know, right? You don't know. That's all I'm saying. Is I don't know.
Bob, I don't think there's any pitcher that is just good. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about a great pitcher or some elite ace or anything like that. But I'm not talking about anybody who's not bad. I'm talking not bad. You could stick in Severino. If this offense does what it did like last night, you can plug in anybody. You can even plug in Clay Holmes and let him get you 4 or 5, and you're going to win the game. And so I think that
they're not winning 2-1 games. Mets aren't winning 2-1, right?
No, you're right. No, we're so used to the Mets bringing up these guys surrounded by garbage, pitching with with all this stuff and losing games. Whereas if they're not playing well now. So if they keep playing how they are, these kids are going to have a hard time. But if they play what they're capable of, these guys being supported with stuff is going to be a much different thing. When you can go, oh, okay, it's okay. We scored 6 runs today, kid. It's okay that you gave up 3 or 4. We're winning that game. And we have a solid bullpen now that even though it didn't pan out in that first few days when everybody just came over and our offense wasn't doing it, I truly believe that these guys now, you're right, if they can get you into the 5th and into the 6th, like we have the bullpen that will hold it down. So we need to – it's all going to revolve around
you can't ask for 16 ounce a night, though. You can't ask for 16 ounce a night from the bullpen. Like last night, they got really good. They got good pitching last night from the bullpen. But that's not going to happen every day. And it was only 2 guys. They kind of kept everybody available for tonight, and then they didn't have to burn Diaz for 2 hours because you want to win that game. And Mendoza's the kind of guy that's going to pitch a guy longer than he should just to win that game because it's Pete Alonso and everything. Not that I hate that, but that could kill you. And Hagerman was good last night.
Yeah, and what did that get him? See you later.
Now, did he get sent down today? I was out all day. I was out most of the day.
Yeah, see you later, buddy. We used you up, and now you got to go. And they even talked to Mendoza about that. He goes, yeah, it's rough, but like that's part of the game. Is he's down, and the next man up, which is Blackburn, and you go look, and it goes on and on and on. But it doesn't mean a bad thing. Look at that. That's a great thing to see. That's an awesome thing to. That's a nice thing to go, okay, we have a little bit of confidence. My problem is sometimes we got overly confident in guys like this when we have other options. So all of a sudden in what may not seem like a tight game, Mendoza, maybe the Mets are up by 4, and he goes, you know what? We don't need to go to our new fresh toys at the bullpen. We don't need that. We're going to go
Brazabon written all over him.
Exactly. And then all of a sudden they go, no, he's been so good and whatever. And all of a sudden that guy gets into trouble and he lets him go 1 extra batter. And that's what
bullpens are, though, a lot of times. The bullpens are they're so hit and miss.
We're stacked.
If they were good enough, they'd be in the rotation. If they were good enough, they'd be in the rotation.
Right. You're right. But now they are guys that are that. We are guys who are lifers in the bullpen who aren't there to be starters. When you start talking about guys like Soto and Rogers and you go into Helsley and then you go into Diaz, you go, no. Those are the guys that once in a while we understand we have to keep them fresh, but we need to win those 4-run games too. Don't keep your foot on the gas because we've seen the Mets last night, many other times in the last couple weeks, blow leads like we never did. We're doing we're having done to us everything we did to teams down the stretch last year. Everything, beating up.
I mean, that was a special year, though. That's why it was a special year because it doesn't happen a lot.
But do you see this? First of all, don't forget we won 1 game. We won one game. If you still look back, this is one game. We need to. We did this last week too. 2 weeks ago, we won.
I'm guilty of it every time. I say, I go, don't go day by day because you kill yourself. You stress and it's garbage.
The Mets need to go out tonight, and let's get into that because let's get into.
First, let's let everybody know that if you want to call into the show, just scan that QR code right down under by me, right there by my mic in the bottom left corner of the screen. Scan that. It's like, listen, regardless of what the baseball purist says, it's not as it's. He had a rough time first go. I think we fixed it. It should be pretty easy. It's like 2 steps, and you call right into the show.
I think your phone, just use your phone. And all that stuff should be fine.
Yeah,
and
you can use your phone. You can just use your phone.
You can check us out. Check out the bottom of the screen, lockedupsports.net. We have so much old stuff, some interviews with some of the best people you've seen around. Joe Benigno, Stalacades, all the people, like so many good shows. You go even back, we had Eamon McEnany, really, and you can go even to the Yankee stuff. But you know what? Let me tell you.
We got Lindor back in the leadoff spot tonight.
Oh, that's what I was about to ask about is what is this lineup looking like tonight? Lindor back in the leadoff spot, and Vientos has been left out. I saw it earlier.
Yeah, Vientos left out now a couple days.
Yes, they asked Mendoza today. So they asked Mendoza, they're like, so what's up? Is he hurt? And he goes, no. He goes, no. He goes, that's just how it goes. He goes, that's just how it is when you have 4 guys who are playing really well. And so he wasn't one of the 4 guys.
Yeah. Lindor, Soto, Nimmo.
They made a statement that they don't have faith in Vientos right now, and they're going with more of a, remember how we said they're going to have more of a set lineup? Vientos isn't part of that right now.
No,
go for it. Let me hear.
Okay, so Lindor, Soto, Nimmo, Alonso, obviously clean up. McNeil up to 5 now. He had a 1-4. He had an 0 for last night. He was the only Met that didn't get a hit last night. Marte, DH and hitting 6th. Mullins, center field, of course, hitting 7th, and then Alvarez still in that 8 spot after those monster home runs. He had 2 monster home runs last night. Listen, I think the Alonso home run, here's what I think about the Alonso thing. I think the Alonso record-breaking home run was the 3rd biggest home run of the game last night. I think the Nimmo 3-run home run was the biggest, right? Yeah. They had just given up the lead. He hit a 3-run bomb. Yeah. And I think that the Alvarez home run, the one that he crushed, or even both of them, maybe you could even say 4th then. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but as far as this team goes and this season goes, I think the Nimmo home run, because they had to win that game, was huge. And I think the Alvarez getting back on and hitting home runs like he did last year was huge. Then Alonso.
Just, you know why it was so big? You know why it was so big? Because Alvarez had come back hot, right? We come back hitting. He was hot in the minors. He came back hot. He hadn't been. He cooled off really quick. The last 2-3 games, all of a sudden he was like 1 for 10, I think it was. And so you didn't want to see him get back in that funk. You know what I mean? Like, and for him to come back and absolutely scorch those balls like you're seeing right there. As McNeil says, as baseball purist says, McNeil scorched the ball last night.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he hit it hard, but he's, again, an over, right? And I know that's bad luck. A lot of that's bad luck. But, yeah, they got 16 hits.
No, it is bad luck, but you need Nimmo. Nimmo to hit that ball is a huge deal because he had been striking out half of the time, more than half of the time over his last one, and it's been a rough go. All these guys were 0 for 18, 20.
And Alvarez all year.
But I'm sorry, but they've been playing pretty well versus Strider. They have to go against another random. They have to go against Carlos Carrasco tonight. All right, so you got the former Met. They got to produce again.
Is that who's pitching tonight?
Carlos Carrasco tonight, I believe.
Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't
Carlos
think so. It might be though. But either way, I mean, listen, they get the Braves pitchers are not. Spencer Strider's the name everybody knows too, and he was good at one point. And I'll tell you what, he gave up. He was terrible. Is this Carrasco?
It is going to be Carrasco. I'm almost positive. I'm going to pull it out, but no. Spencer Strider, he's falling off. Like his stuff is falling off. He last year was unstoppable. His velocity is back up the last couple games, but he just obviously there's something going on where he's either, I know they were last night trying to show each other, oh, he's doing this, and supposedly he was tipping pitches, or this is what he was doing. They do that all the time now, but he definitely had a rough outing last night. As soon as
the guy gives up a bunch of runs, but I mean the last night was was above and beyond. I mean he gave up 8 runs, I think.
For a long time. So I mean, but it's Carlos Carrasco over Peterson tonight. You know what you're going to get out of Carlos Carrasco. He's 6.6 ERA. Peterson, man, we need Peterson to be, to be Peterson, right?
Well, he will. He's going to give you 6 innings. Is he going to win? I don't know. He wins more times than he loses, but he's going to give you 6 innings.
Now, this is all about the offense coming back around and consistency. We need this night after night. We don't need everybody to step up. We don't need last night. We need a couple guys to step up each night. It can be a little bit each inning. It can be, small ball bunting, as we've even seen them produce. They finally started, bunting a little bit when they give them the opportunity. They're saying, let's just make something happen. Lindor may have bunted himself out of this slump, and, this is what you need to do. And there you go. We got the lineup right up there for you now. Lindor, Soto, Nimmo, Alonso, McNeil playing second, Marte. And then you got Mullins in center, and we got a nice home run out of him the other night. And then you get Alvarez, who's got the 2 from last night. And you got Alonso with 2 from last night. And Beatty, man. Beatty at third base, which, all right, so we're giving Beatty some more shots instead of Mauricio.
Well, Beatty had a home run last night. He went back-to-back with Nimmo. But I also... Yeah, well, Lindor and Soto. And you know what else? And
ran out of fireworks last night.
It annoys me more when I'm there and I'm sitting where I was sitting last night, right on first base. I mean, Lindor, just can you at least jog it down to first? Like he's like a fast walk. Like he's halfway down the line when he's thrown out. If the ball got by the first baseman, he wouldn't even make it to second. He might not make it to first. I mean, it's like that. And it's such bad optics. It really is. And like, I'm not asking you to run it out and dig it out every time and be, Nimmo dodging, darting down the first on a walk, or be Pete Rose, but at least make it look good.
You said Lindor, you mean Soto?
No. What I meant was, Soto. I'm sorry, Soto. Soto. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, Lindor's all right. Soto does barely gets halfway down the line.
Guy's got a broken toe. Give him a little pass. Bob, easy on.
But those broken 2 months ago.
I never took a minute off. You give them the guy, it's still broken. It never healed. Just so we're all clear, that toe never healed. It's just loose and never healed. That's just what happens with toes when you run on them.
So they're saying that the worst of the rain is past and not around 9 o'clock.
We're talking about this for the season? Are we talking about the forecast? Or are we talking about the Mets forecast for the season? We're talking about like
weather. They don't know. It looks like there's a whole ton of yellow and lightning.
Season is past. Oh no, the worst of the Mets season is past, Bob. I like it. It's good reporting.
Yeah,
the worst season has passed. That's it. The sunshine has
live from the eye of the storm.
This is it. We've been through it.
Yeah, I mean it's in the Bronx now, but it's all. I mean, there's a lot of yellow. Like if it was snow, we'd all have no work tomorrow. So they say the snow's like if you get 6 inches of rain, it's like 2 feet, 3 feet of snow, right?
You'd have to go.
I would have to go because we work because jail never closes. Well, sometimes we get so few employees showing up for work that when I pull into the lot, I think maybe we're closed on Mondays or something sometimes. So.
Well, yeah, that's true. And you know what? Everybody would get a day off from us.
Yeah, yeah. They might like that. But yeah, so it looks like 9 o'clock they're going to pitch. At least they didn't start the game, right? And then you have to deal with Mendoza trying to throw Peterson out there after the 2-hour rain delay.
They had it tarp before the first.
No, they had it tarp early. It was. I think they saw. I didn't know this was coming. I was on TikTok before this, and I said, "If you're heading out to the game, beautional night, enjoy it." Like I had no idea. And then I looked outside, and it was. You texted me and said, "I think it's going to be a rain delay," and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, I didn't even think about it until all of a sudden I was like, "Oh yeah, shoot!" And then nah, man, this is we're there now. We're what. Couple more hours, and then what do you think about this ceremony? Doing a little Alonso ceremony.
I mean, I guess listen. Do it before the game. Do it like the reliever of the month or the rookie of the month, right? You do something like that. 5 minutes. I don't want to. I don't need it broadcast on television. I don't need Howie Rose being the master of ceremonies.
Podium. You think there's a little podium?
No, I think there's a table with gifts.
Right? No, they got to sell the thing. No, they're gonna bring the thing out so they can sell it.
They cut up the podium right there. Just come out with the hacksaw and cut it up, and it'll be in the grab bag by second inning.
At the end, they're selling the cards. By the end of the thing, they get the pieces of the podium are put in the special card.
It was funny, Brad. When I walked in, I'm telling you, it was 1 inning after he hit the home run. Nimmo hit. It was the inning Nimmo hit. I walked into there because I was passing it, and I was like, "You got the pants that he hit the record-breaking home run?"
I always ask the guy. I asked the girl
someone
last
I think turned around and was like, "They got the pants?" Like with like cash in their hands or something. Like people, do people buy anything? I have this cup of dirt. I don't want this cup of dirt. I don't know if that's from Citi Field.
tell all of it. It's so great. No, but the girl, like the one girl works there, and you walk by. I'm like, is there any? Is it worth it? And she looks. She goes, nope. And like the end of
because this is
like
some of the stuff they're selling in there.
Good stuff. There is, but they'll work with you. I mean, this is a secret. But like, if you know, if you're there and you're the only one there, you're the only one there, and there's certain people.
Oh, and the grab bag will work with you sometimes. Yeah, sometimes.
The one guy you know is never going to work with anybody. That guy's not breaking a rule in his life. You know, and that's the guy they make sure runs it most of the time. But the one they do a little sneak, and they're like, "Do you like the?"
When I got the jersey, he pulled out a handful. And he started looking through them. I was like, "I want the jersey." He's like, "All right, here we go. Nice. We got it, jersey." So I guess it depends. It's like anything else. It depends on who you get. You
gotta schmooze them a little bit, Bob.
Yeah, but some of the stuff is just ridiculous. Like some of the stuff is cool. Like you buying those big things that go on the light stands outside, those big the player banners. They still have them. They go on outside the stage. Those things are huge. They're so much bigger than you think, and they're like $1,500 for it. I saw a guy online selling the pads, the wall pads from Shea Stadium. One of them was dirty. It's uncurated. Yeah. It's uncurated. $1,000 he wanted for a piece of the pad, and you're gonna bring it. Where you gonna put that thing, Brett? Where you gonna put a big piece of a pad from the wall, and it's not even the home run wall. It's not even the outfield wall. They're like along the baselines. And it's filthy because it's uncurated. So you save $500. Like, come on! People gotta have too much. People have too much money then.
And good for them. First of all, this grab bag too. It goes to the Mets Amazing Foundation, which is so Steve Cohen and his wife.
Human fund. Brett, what is the Amazing Fund? That's like the human fund.
No, Steve and Alex Cohen, of all the people in the world, are giving
money for people. Money for people.
Oh no, it's for amazing people, Bob. That's not the point. But how long do you think before they start bagging up the grass clippings? Like you just throw that stuff in the thing, and you'd be like, Francisco Lindor spit on this.
Yeah, there was a football team selling snow.
It
was a cup of water. It was a cup of water. I mean, come on.
No, there's
a couple in Philadelphia filling up cups of water, selling for $1,000.
You look back, you open up that freezer every time for the rest of your life, and you're like, look at that. But there's a time where you're desperate, and your wife is like, needed some ice, and you have that. I would use it. And next thing you know,
you didn't use the ice, did you? Where'd you get that ice? One of your kids' friends comes over or something. He's like, "Oh, I gotta use this ice."
What do you think, Bob? This is going to be the beginning of the beginning of something for the Mets, a little winning streak. Because I honestly feel positive for the first time ever. That may end really quickly tonight.
Yeah, of course it will. Because they scored 13 runs and 16 hits. They had 6 home runs, and their pitchers sucked. So it's the perfect. Of course you feel good because you're like, oh, we don't have good pitching. Oh, we don't need good pitching because look what we did last night. We scored 13 runs, 16 hits. Who cares if these guys go 3 innings, right? No. I think they're going to be average the rest of the way. I think they probably will slip into the wild card, and I think that and then a World Series run because I get optimistic when we hit the playoffs. I'm like, we got this, and then I look stupid every time.
I know. I feel stupid now for thinking a while ago that the playoffs are a guaranteed thing at some point this season, and now I'm like, oh my god, if we miss the playoffs, it's going to feel like total disappointment, right? Like everything. And I'm sick of that. I'm sick of that feeling of total disappointment leading up.
But it's been worse. We saw like the collapse. No, this would be the collapse.
No, but it's going to be elevated because of the expectations. Those other teams,
but they didn't have it. Remember coming into this year, it was like, it's a transition year. We'll be okay. Maybe we catch lightning in a bottle with the pitching, and then it just started great. And they didn't lose games, and they haven't. I think like they lost like 5 games at home in the first 3 months of the season.
No, you're right. And they still have a good home record. They just got away from themselves the last couple of weeks. So listen, I do feel like we've seen the worst of this team. We've also seen that this team at mediocrity is a first place team in this division. Now, the Phillies are better now, but if this team can just play at mediocrity, a little bit better than mediocrity, I truly believe they're going to make the playoffs. And like you said, at that point, depending on if one of these youngsters can get involved and if some of these young bats can get involved, we can catch lightning in a bottle and, hopefully make a nice run and go deep.
Yeah, I mean, listen, and if whatever happens, right, they can never take away that I was there when Alonso broke Strawberry's record.
I mean, they can. They can do whatever you want. As we've learned, you can rewrite history.
I don't want to. And I get pissed off with the like I don't want to see Montas again. Like I don't even want him on the team. Like pay him his $34 million and go away, right? But Clay Holmes too. If he's going to start in 5 days, like what are we doing? Like if you can't see that he's tired and he can't get anybody out now, I don't know why you have a job.
will tell you there's a very good chance that you see Montas in way too big of a situation at some point.
No, of course,
one of those
of course.
You know what it is? It's one of those games where you're down, where your pitcher struggles, and you're down like 4-2 in like the fourth, and they're going to bring in Montas, and the game's going to get out of hand. And those are the games that make me sick because
you're pulling your hair out.
Right, because we do have the offense that can come back, or you expect to come back in those games, and so to put in a guy that is never been in that spot in a long time, and it's not going to go well. So I don't know what their plan is, but he's making a lot of money.
And Mendoza, I like Mendoza. I have no problem with Mendoza. I said that he should free. This is a free year for him with the job he did last year. But Mendoza leaves these guys in either one or two hitters too long, or he pulls them out one or two hitters too early, and it's just every time. I don't think he's a good in-game manager. I think he's more of a player's manager. He's more of a kind of like a rah-rah guy.
He was like Midas with the golden touch last year, and now he's like the end of Midas with the golden touch year.
I do like the Lindor move though last year that he put him in the leadoff start, because now he's one of the best leadoff hitters in baseball.
Yeah, but now we thought that was his golden ticket, and he keeps flip-flopping that back and forth now, and now we don't even know if Lindor's our leadoff hitter, and now we don't have one. So we have kind of a leadoff hitter. We have kind of somebody else. So I don't know if it's going to be solid. Lindor can play anywhere, hit anywhere, or not hit anywhere. That's not what it is. As soon as he starts hitting, he's not going to leave wherever he is. You know, Soto's learned that we need him to start.
Lindor's a Hall of Famer. He's going to be. He'll figure it out. That's why I didn't even bring up Lindor and Soto here.
The only one that worries me in that top. You know what worries me in that top four? And you look over, it's that if Nimmo doesn't produce and we leave him in this important position between these guys, and that just turns into strikeouts, we're in trouble. Or these same things, these double plays, these pop-ups. We got to get back to where we were. These players got to get back to the basics. And it's we got a long way to go, man. One win ain't gonna do it.
And empty seats last night. First time I've really seen it, and that's a big night, right? Because a lot of people were into that. Empty seats, like large patches of empty seats in the upper deck. Which okay, but and that infuriated me 2-3 years ago when they had that in the playoffs. When we were sitting up there for $300 or whatever it was in the upper deck. And there were just thousands of empty seats in the upper deck last night. I mean, it's a Tuesday night. I get it. It's a regular season. But first time this year and it was electric still because it's been an electrical year. First time this year I've really seen good amount of patches of empty seats. So take from that what you will. maybe they're not playing well, right? They weren't playing well. They've lost. They won one game and coming into last night, and then 3 weeks.
My whole thing is, when we thought Alonso was going to break that record on the road. He didn't. He come home to that. There's always excitement when your team come home and they're on the road. And you're right, it was that losing that did it. It surprised me
just
back
because 6 out of first place.
The Alonso factor. You're talking about left field. There's spots where if he hit that bomb into over the Great Wall of Flushing, there was empty seats in the launch spot we know. Field like that's a little like honestly, if I went, I know that's a nice seat. Bobby said 3 rows off.
No, it's not a huge one, right? It's not like Ohtani. Are you? No. Is he offering to buy the ball? Mets offering you one of those crap packages with an autograph or a meet and greet with Alonso?
But no, you parlay that into I can get for a certain price every year the rest of my life access to every postseason game. Every postseason game the rest of my life. I want something now. Something small, but I don't need you to pay me. I don't need you to pay me.
You want his pants?
I want Mendoza at the top. I have the pants. I'm wearing the pants. I need the top. I need Mendoza's top from this game because I got the pants. And how do you not sell the top? You got to sell it together.
What do you think he'd offer you for? You don't think he's going to offer you money? I mean, Cohen. If Cohen comes to offer me money, I'm robbing him, right? I'm going to be like, I want 10,000. How much is the ball worth? How much is that ball worth? $1,000.
You know how they. Yeah, there's not really that much it's worth, I'd say. There's a lot of, you can get some, stuff out of it and some tickets and maybe all that stuff. And Cohen's very generous, so I have no doubt that that's what would happen with that. But no, there isn't.
Is that why the T-shirts are $60 in the team store, Brett? Is that how generous he is? $60 a T-shirt.
That's Bob. That's baseball. I can say right now that most of the stuff at the game isn't that bad.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Like, it's really not. Go to City Field. You can buy some of the best food in town for under $20. I'm talking some of the best stuff. Like, under $20, you can get, like, the Pat LaFrieda steak stuff and all of it. Like, very rarely is it, like, $30 for the stuff that on the street would cost you that. But, the rest is
I got a beer guy.
Well, you do have a beer guy, but today's $5 beer, $5 beers, $5 sodas. What is it today or was that yesterday? I mean, yesterday when you were there. You were there for it was Tuesday, right?
I didn't know that. I didn't have it. I didn't even drink it. I didn't drink
Tuesday.
or eat anything.
Bob, $5 hot dog, $5 soda, $5 water, $5 beer.
I'm there every Tuesday. How do I not know about this? I
that. I crushed it there a couple weeks ago. I had 2 hot dogs, the pretzels are $5.
No, and I was kind of hungry last night. I was like, I don't want to.
Oh no. There's the other reason I'm shocked it wasn't packed. Like that's the stuff, man. Where you're like, they had a good thing going over there, and so
yeah. Listen, it's been electric all year. I've loved it. This year has been just as electric as it was in the second half of last year at Citi Field. It's been since day one. Day one, packed houses, staying like people like they know what they know when to cheer, they're cheering at the right spot and everything like that. Like I loved it. It's not like when they play those NFL games over in Europe and they have no idea when to cheer or what's good or what's bad. It's just a weird kind of vibe. But
so we know what we know when the game starts 8:45, first pitch on SNY. And watch our buddy Keith Rad and Howie Rose with the call. And if you heard Keith
they're
Rad,
radio, Brett. Come on.
No, I was going to say, no, separate. I was separate. I was about to do you can also listen to them on 880. Right. But last night we caught Keith Rad got the call, and it was an awesome call. And congratulations to him. That was honestly, because you never know which way it's going to go. And Howie was so happy that he said, Mets fans, he goes, get used to it. He goes, because you're going to hear a lot more great calls from Keith Rad. So congratulations to him. That's a big deal, man.
Yankees fan Keith Rad.
No, grew up a Yankees fan. He is orange and blue, true and through, as he has still to us here on the show. And great for a Yankee fan.
Yeah, good call. What'd you think of Gary's call? The polar bear on his privatized iceberg or something. I think Gary's had a rough year.
Yeah, that's. I mean, keep it simple. I'm a keep it simple guy. I'm a he did it guy. I'm a he did it. He did it.
Listen, he did it is all time. And Howie's got a couple all time.
Imagine having good calls and you only used like 3 words or 1 word in Matteau.
Yeah, but the best calls, are the ones that aren't. They don't have.
You use
Gary had that. That was a setup. He knew what he was going to say. It was a setup, and I don't like that. That's not how it should be.
Which one?
You want it to be Matteau. Yeah. Last night, that was a setup. He's got his own on his own private iceberg, the polar bear.
That was so he had 100 of them from ChatGPT. He didn't even know which one it was. He's like, I'm done with this. Just give me something. Something
and Matteau is just that's a spur of the moment thing. That's what he couldn't believe it. Matteau around the net and Matteau. He did it is another one. Those are not rehearsed.
Well, there was no ChatGPT back then.
No, you could come on. Gary was sitting there with a pen and a paper for weeks, coming up with telling you that's the best he came out. And listen, get me out of here.
We're dying.
But we're done. So listen, that's it. We're done. We're out of here. Go watch the game. Thanks to everybody for watching. Don't forget you can find us at lockedupsports.net. We're on all social media. Find us all over the place. Leave us a review. Please leave us a review. Make sure you follow us. Follow our page here on Facebook, on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. And that's it.
Let's go Mets. Big game tonight. Let's go. Keep it going.
Yeah, these rain delay games are usually weird, too. They're usually like a weird 9-7 or something.
You never know how the pitcher's going to react and if they got started already. And some guys don't care at all. And so we'll see. We'll see what we got out of Peterson tonight. He's been good. We need him to go deep. Can we get a Mets pitcher tonight? Is tonight the night?
Every time, Brett. We went over it every time. 6 innings, 7 innings. Every time. He doesn't always win, but 6 innings, 7 innings. You're getting 6 innings tonight from him.
Finishing 7. Nobody's done that for the Mets. Is tonight the night? Finishing 7 tonight. Watch. No, mark it. Tomorrow you get Mets pitcher Peterson going 7 tonight. 10 strikeouts.
For Brett Grasso, I'm Bob Walters from the Brian Gunzel Studios. See ya.